On this episode, our guest is real estate mogul, tycoon, and accomplished author R. Donahue Peebles. Mr. Peebles is chairman and CEO of the Peebles Corp, the largest African-American real estate development company in the United States. His multi-billion-dollar development portfolio includes luxury hotels, high-rise residential buildings, and commercial property. Mr. Peebles' success has landed him a spot on the Forbes wealthiest list, and today he shares with us some insight on business and life. Thank you for joining us for a little bit of business, a little bit of life with Kyle Donovan, sponsored by New York Life. We're here in the office of Mr. R. Donahue Peebles here on 57th Street in New York City, and I'm actually going to get right into it. So, Mr. Peebles, a lot of people read Envy Magazine. They really want to know how. You know, how can I blaze my own path? How can I be successful? How can I follow the path that someone else has laid for me to be successful? So if you could tell us how exactly and what deal you did to make your first $1 million?
So it's kind of like how you started Envy Magazine. You had an idea and a dream, and you went and executed. And that's the whole thing about business. Business is about having the idea and then executing on that idea and proceeding with the idea and moving it forward. And the way I started the Peebles Corporation is I had an idea. It started off as a dream as a teenager when I would take the bus downtown, going to work, going to school in the morning. I would take this bus going through downtown, which was undergoing urban redevelopment in Washington, D.C. And I saw all these buildings coming up, and I saw one specific developer building a lot of them. And so I asked my mother, who was in the real estate business, to explain to me about development. And she began to explain it to me. And from that point on, I dreamed of one day driving down on the bus route and seeing one of my buildings. And so by 26, I began building my first building.
So have you always been prepared for opportunities as they come along the way, or if you haven't, what are some lessons that have been learned along the way?
Well, I think that every business person is an opportunist. A successful business person is an opportunist. Entrepreneurs are opportunists. They see opportunities and then they capitalize on them. And that's what has helped me all along the way, is seeing the opportunities and capitalizing on them.
So the answer is yes, you've always been prepared.
Yes, always. Well, I've always believed I've been prepared for the opportunity.
Okay. Interesting enough, I'm reading Steve Jobs' book right now, and he talks a lot about gut instinct. So how much of success, the success that you had, is based on actual gut instinct, you'd say?
A lot of it, most of it. Gut instinct is really the combination of experience and knowledge. Your brain actually reacts very quickly, and your best ideas and your best thoughts are the initial ones, because you've already had some knowledge base, you've had some experience, and so your instincts are the unfiltered combination of those two components. And I've always used my gut instinct, how do you know a building's going to work? I'm in the development business, and so it's like baking a cake, but it takes 3 years before anybody gets a bite out of it. Yeah. So I have this idea, I've got to build it, and then I've got to sell it or lease it up or run a hotel, and with the expectation that the marketplace is going to receive it well. I
guess while we're on the topic of instincts, you were one of the first major supporters of our President Barack Obama years ago, before he even, when he was going down the line up against Hillary. I know there was a lot of choices. And so based on, and I know your whole history, you've been in politics for quite some time. So how much is that related to business? You think in the realm of business, a lot of politics that goes along, or is there any correlation between the two, you'd say?
Oh, yeah, in many ways. I think, the skill set is somewhat similar, because it's having a dream or a vision and being willing to go out there and execute. And that means putting yourself in harm's way. In business, you're going to go out and take risk. Sometimes you'll be successful, sometimes you won't. You'll lose money, you'll lose face, etc. In politics, you've got to put yourself out there, and be rejected potentially. Yeah. And I remember when young, State Senator Obama was running for the U.S. Senate seat, that task seemed very difficult. Then when young United States Senator decided that he'd run for president, that seemed almost impossible. But the whole idea was that the president, President Obama at that time felt that the country needed change. It wanted change, and it was looking for somebody who was different and change. And he represented change, and someone had to win, and why not be him? Mm-hmm. Same thing in business. Someone has to do well. Someone has to be successful. Why not be you?
So with with all the wisdom and everything you've built up over the years, if you were someone watching this video today and that person said, you know what, I want to blaze a path similar to that of Mr. Peebles, what would be the first thing you would do after watching the video of you talking about the path that you blazed?
Follow my passion. So whatever I passionately was excited about, I would do that, and I would pursue that, and I would really engage in the business of my passion. And I'd get into the mix of things. So I'd get out here if I were going to be a photographer like you. When you started, I'd get out here and become a photographer, and I'd start pursuing my passion. And if you pursue your passion and you do it really well, then you will be successful at it and you will make money. If you do something very well, this marketplace rewards you for it.
Yes. And with that said, 10 years from now, who and where is our Donahue Peebles?
Well, hopefully I would have done many of the things that I've set out to do in this, this current decade. And then one of those would be, getting to hand over the realms of the company on a day-to-day basis to my son, who's now going to be a freshman at Columbia University. So hopefully I'd be someone who Don Peebles will be enjoying himself a bit more, having more free time to enjoy, being, a father and, a husband and living life.
Yeah.
And then also, maybe politics. I think that, right now I'm required to be here running the business, and I enjoy doing it very much so. I have another passion, and that is politics. And I have not had, the opportunity to do that because timing hasn't been right. So when I'm liberated from the day-to-day operations of the business, and maybe I look at doing something else to where I can serve, the greater good and do some transformational things in politics when it comes to creating more of a more positive environment for entrepreneurship, especially for minority entrepreneurship.
And with that said, I actually want to thank you very much for talking to us a little bit today, a little bit about business. But before we go, I want to talk to you a little bit about life. Tune in next time for part 2 of A Little Bit of Business, A Little Bit of Life, as we discuss life with R. Donahue Peebles.
We met in Washington, D.C. one summer evening in July. She was jaywalking in Georgetown, and I was on my way to meet some friends for a drink, and had my top down, and I saw these people staring, and I saw her jaywalking. So.